On this episode of Game Shack, Arcade1up is saved by X-Men 97. Let's talk all about that leak coming up next. Hey everybody, welcome on back into the Game Shack, the internet's only haunted home arcade. I'm your host, JDV for EvilGeniusEntertainment.com. Thank you for stopping by. It really does mean a lot to us. If you can give us a thumbs up, it really does help this channel keep going, and it helps other people who might be interested in the home arcade experience discover content like this. If you already have been a viewer, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when videos like this come out. All right, so as I filmed this on Wednesday, February 15th, in the last 12 hours, the news has dropped that briefly, for a second on Arcade1up's homepage, there was some imagery of a X-Men 97, which is basically just a reskin Marvel vs. Capcom new cab for $4.99. They've already pulled it off, so if you go over to Arcade1up's website right now, you will not find any of this material. If you go to the Coming Soon page, it will have 0 products on there. There's nothing new, which is, I'm going to talk a little bit about that more in a second. But anyway, X-Men 97 is not listed there. If you go to the news section of their webpage, you'll see that there is nothing new on that section except for way back in April of 2023, which just goes to show you how little new stuff has come out from Arcade1up in the last 8 months or so. Which of course is why everyone kind of got excited when they saw this, because let's talk about the positive right now, because it does mean that there is still at least some sort of contractual relationship between Arcade1up and Capcom and Disney, which of course owns the rights to anything to do with Marvel. So in theory, that is a good thing, right? It means that they're not just putting out old stock onto shelves. This would be something brand new that came from a factory that has not been seen before, which presumably means either the same contract they have is continuing on, in other words, this still fulfills whatever existing contract they had, or this is a contract extension, or a completely new contract that deals just with this cab. I think that last one's probably the most unlikely, but either way, it still means that there's some sort of relationship between Disney, Capcom, Marvel, and Arcade1up, which means that they're probably not going to go out of business tomorrow, right? Because why develop this new cab, why leak this cab, and all of that. The same thing's true of their phone app, which finally did get a little bit of a revamp last week. Same thing's true that there was a bunch of firmware pushed out yesterday as well, although I don't know that it was anything significant, but still, there are some signs that Arcade1up is alive and kicking, which is good news, right? So let's talk a little bit about this leaked cab itself, other than the fact that it's not on their website now. If you take a look at it, it is essentially just the exact same Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cab, except with a different skin and no riser. It has the exact same game lineup. There doesn't seem to be any different positioning of the screen. You're still getting a 17-inch screen. It really is just same cab, but without a riser, just those extended pieces to make it look more seamless. You know, at $4.99, it'd actually be $100 cheaper than you can buy the cab right now at Best Buy, which is still going for $5.99. There, of course, it goes on sale and everything. But still, to come out at $4.99 would be a step in the right direction. A couple of other things though, hey, this cab might not even come out, right? I mean, it's weird that they'd have it on their website and then immediately pull it off. So maybe it got dropped a little early by accident, or maybe they were told, oh, no, we don't actually have the rights to do this, right? A lot of what Arcade1up does when they show us designs of their cabs are show us computer-generated versions of it. So there's no real indication that this is an actual, exists in the real world cab, more like the Alien vs. Predator leak that we also saw. It is probably just a computer-generated version, which means just like Alien vs. Predator, it does not exist in the real world, is not for sale, and is apparently not an official thing, at least not yet. Now, I do think that this cab will probably be announced, because why not? It is essentially just a simple reskin on something that they don't have to change the order at the factory very much for at all. And again, and I've said this in many videos, it is actually cheaper to make a riserless design deluxe than it is with a riser. One more thing about the Alien vs. Predator cab, I would rather see that cab, as flawed as it was with the games lineup and the 3 controllers on a too small of a setup with the 17-inch screen, than see another simple reskin of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Alien vs. Predator is something that I might want to pay $400 for, even as flawed as it is, because at least it would be something new. At least it would have games that I don't have on my other Arcade1up products. Even though, yes, we've seen those games before, we have not seen some of those games in a long time. So bottom line, yeah, I do think that this is going to eventually be real, and fans of Arcade1up ought to hope it's real, because if it's not, it means that they leaked it and then got slapped in the face by somebody at legal and said, no, we can't make this cab because our contract doesn't actually say we can make this cab. So if this thing ends up being phantomware, if this never comes out, it is a really, really bad sign. And if today or tomorrow it is actually posted up there, is that really a great sign? No, I think what it means is that Arcade1up is treading water. Them putting out the new firmware updates, them updating their phone app, and then this leak, presumably, which will be made real in the next week or two, all indicates to me a company that is just treading water. They are keeping their heads above water. They are not actually closing their doors. But neither are they giving us anything new. Neither are they improving any significant way what they already have. In other words, no spectate mode. We're not being guaranteed new sets of controllers or bigger monitors or anything like that, even in the rehashes they have. You are getting the exact same game lineup if this leak is accurate. I don't think this cab would sell in any kind of great numbers unless it is directly paired with the show, and then maybe there could be some synergy of first-time buyers, people who have never really seen Arcade1up type products might see the show, and then they might also see an ad for this. So there could be some synergy there down the road, but right now, as it stands in mid-February, this is a very, very middling type of announcement. All right, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that this is just a blip on our radar and doesn't mean a thing at all? Or, yeah, this is some good news, or no, this is actually bad news, because if this is the best that they can give us after 6-7 months without anything, that's a bad sign. Let me know down below what you guys think. It really does matter to me. All right, that's going to wrap this episode up. As always, give me a thumbs up on the way out the door. It really does help this channel. Subscribe if you haven't already. Love each other. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the Game Shack. Mwah!
Be sure to visit evilgeniusentertainment.com for exclusive content, swag, casting call news, and much, much more.